We've all seen children say no to their parents, whether it's in a store or church or anywhere. Playground, they'll just say no. It seems to be part of human nature, just to say no. It doesn't mean the kids are bad kids. As they get older, they'll learn to obey their parents. It's just in our nature. The first humans were told to eat from any tree except one. That's the tree they chose. It's in our nature. The carnal mind is enmity against God. Romans 8, verse 7. God told us to keep his Sabbath day, to remember it. And yet people refuse. The reason they refuse to keep it is precisely because God said to keep it. If God said to keep Sunday, they would keep Saturday. If God said to keep Wednesday, they would keep Tuesday or another day. Since God said to keep the seventh day, they purposely don't. They don't realize why, but that's why. They come up with absurd arguments. For example, in Galatians, when Paul criticizes the Gentile Galatians for returning to weak and beggarly elements. If they're returning to weak and beggarly elements and they were Gentiles, then those weak and beggarly elements were not God's laws, were not God's Sabbath. In verse 10, he says, ye observe times. People think that's the Sabbath. Well, Leviticus 19, verse 26, literally condemns observing times. That's a ridiculous argument, but they use it. Just like in Romans 14, when Paul's talking about days used for feasting or fasting or abstaining from certain foods, people will claim it's referring to the Sabbath. It isn't. Or in Colossians 2, when Paul is talking about those pagans who were judging the Colossians for feasting on the Sabbath, for how they were keeping the Sabbath. Read the whole chapter, read the context. All the arguments against the Sabbath fall apart with a little examination. But people, it's in them to rebel. They don't realize why. One day when the veil is removed, they will realize why. The Sabbath is a sign of God's people. Exodus 31:13, Ezekiel 20, verse 12. Don't fight it, friends. Obey God. That's a good thing. Have a blessed, joyous Sabbath. Peace all. Bye-bye.